Ever want to drive a car just like the editors of Road and Track? This is your chance. The new Road and Track Driving Experience, a unique driving school held at the state-of-the-art Spring Mountain Motorsports Ranch near Las Vegas. Here's your opportunity to put a car through the slalom, the skid pad, and even wet threshold braking. All the dynamic tests you read about in Road and Track's comprehensive road tests. Only now, you're at the wheel. And after having the fun of these thrilling exercises, you'll get to lap the racetrack at speed yourself, putting your newfound skills to the test. It doesn't matter what sort of car you might be most familiar with, whether it's a Corvette Z06 or a Mini Cooper S or a Lotus Elise. One of the cool things about the Road and Track driving experience is every driver, every time, will have a chance to experience all three here at the Spring Mountain Motorsports Ranch. The day begins with a brief classroom session, but before you know it, you'll be in the cars, and that's the best classroom of all. So it's a whole line of Corvettes. It's like we're coming off of the assembly line at Bowling Green. Most people haven't hauled a Corvette down from speed in the wet, but that's exactly what you do here. You experience firsthand just how good anti-lock braking really is. And more importantly, the instructors will teach you how a car, under full ABS braking, can maintain steering control, so you can avoid potential accidents on the road. It's interesting, once you get behind the wheel, you really do have to remember everything that's going on, and the truth is, you probably remember about half of what they tell you. Instructors work with each student, building his or her skills gradually, then talking them through each exercise on a radio. Believe us, immediate feedback when you're still behind the wheel is the best way to learn.
They do a real good job of getting you where they want you to go in increments. They don't just throw you into the pool.
The skid pad's a good place to check the understeer and oversteer of a car. How much can you crank it before you start to lose control on the back end, or you can't get enough steering out of the front end?
The key is to be smooth, minimal steering input, but most of the smooth drivers are probably going to be the ladies. In the last group, Brittany pulled the highest G's, 1.2, so don't let her show you up, guys.
Making the skid pad even more enjoyable and instructive, an onboard G-meter voices your level of grip, and it really does improve your driving. Plus, for those inevitable sideline discussions, it also arms you with bragging rights.
You're going to write 1-2.
It's spiked to 1-2 for a second. I didn't think so.
For a second, baloney. I heard that 15 times he said 1-2.
I'll be with you in a second. 1.2 on the skid pad. Lost 1.2 inches in the headroom. What did you do out there?
Well, I was out on the skid pad and I was testing the limits with oversteer and understeer. And got to test my lateral G's and I got it up to 1.2, so it was fun.
That's very high. That's the course record so far today.
That's what I hear.
Next up, slalom exercises. You'll experience the transient dynamics of a slalom patterned right after the one R&T uses. Then you move on to a figure eight.
Certainly the opportunity to actually experience under conditions on both the track and off is just the balance of the car. Certainly in terms of the figure eight that we were doing, fantastic opportunity to get into that rhythm of looking ahead, getting the turning point in, braking into the corner, and then finding your apex and powering out. Just keeping the car very balanced.
And speaking of balance, one of the best ways to learn about this important element of driving is behind the wheel of Spring Mountain's skid car. Instructors ride shotgun. They make your test car understeer and oversteer at will. They can even make it feel as though it's on an icy road with absolutely no grip at all. This is a huge challenge because it shows how small inputs have huge effects. Did someone see that spin? Once you complete all these exercises, you're almost ready for the racetrack. But before you are, you'll get to put your new skills to use tackling an autocross course at full speed. But remember, you're in the big leagues now. Hitting a cone is a big-time penalty.
And here we go.
In the afternoon, you begin to lap Spring Mountain's racetrack. You exercise these cars the way they're meant to be driven. You see that one key to driving the track is always looking ahead. Instructors watch from their cars and remind you on your radio. And as you pick up your speed, you realize everything you've learned in earlier exercises now comes into play. Chances are you'll be lapping at a pace a lot better than you would have thought even possible. And at the same time, you'll be a safer driver with a better understanding of vehicle dynamics. And best of all, you'll have fun. plus a much greater appreciation for all the test data in Road & Track's signature road tests.